Hello there. I'm Bill Johnson, Athletic Director here at Tallmadge High School. Here with you to give you a brief overview of our parent meeting for the spring sports season. Um, I always like to do this virtually because I feel like you guys can watch it on your own time. Um, my goal is to keep this under 15 minutes, but there is some information that I think is important. And I want to make sure that you have. First, I just want to talk a little bit about our coaching staff. Our softball coach, Brittany Lytle. Uh, Kenny Lynn is our baseball coach. Mike Stradawa is our track coach, and Josh Gambo is our tennis coach. Um, this is all the same from last year, and is for softball and baseball and track. Um, it's been the same for quite a while, and Josh has been our head coach now for this will be his third year. So, very excited to have a lot of continuity at the head coaching level. And bringing back a lot of the same assistant coaches as well here in the spring. We do have a new athletic trainer. We were very sorry to see Lori Regales go, but Emily McGowan has taken over the reins, and so far at the end of our winter season has done a great job getting our kids ready to play. So if you need anything from her, her email is listed there. Obviously, Dr. Jeff Bachtel does a great job for our kids. If you need to get in to see him, if you need a physical or if you need to, if you have something happen and you just need to get in to see him, he'll get you in that day if you give him a call. So we're very fortunate to have Dr. Jeff Bachtel. Our Booster Club president is still Eric Tagenhurst. Boosters are doing an awesome job. They have raised so much money for our kids and our student athletes, and to be able to get them the equipment they need, some of the extra stuff we need. We are currently working on a weight room upgrade, and they are helping us with that. So very fortunate for our booster club and all of their members and everything they do for us. So if you have a chance to patronize them, please do that. Just some information, and you will have this PowerPoint. I will be sending this out, so you'll be able to get back on and see this PowerPoint and have all of these email addresses and everybody's contact. For the spring sports parents who haven't played fall or winter sport at the middle school level, we do have a new middle school athletic director, Colin Epstein. He's been doing a fantastic job for us, and we're very excited to have him. So if you have any questions regarding middle school track, he's one that you can reach and ask him about that information. We will be using Remind for any major announcements. My X account now is formerly Twitter. I try to put as many updates out there as possible, as well as our website. And the middle school also puts a bunch of information out on their X account as well. Physicals. So we've pretty much gotten started here. So your son or daughter should not be participating if they don't have a current physical on file. If you notice here, this is a final forms example. In this first example, the parents and the student have signed, but the physical is expired. It's in red. If it is in red, it means it's completely expired. They cannot play. If it's in yellow, it means it is expiring shortly, and it gives that amount of days. Once that turns to zero, it is expired. We use the 13-month rule, but the 13-month is added into this number. So once it hits zero, they are ineligible to participate until they get a current physical. If you have any questions about that or you need any help getting one, please don't hesitate to contact our office. We will help you however we can. And you want to see all these greens. One thing I wanted to add, if you see this over here, this is the concussion baseline test. That all goes through our athletic trainer. So if you see that or if it looks like it's expired, typically all of our ninth graders and all of our 11th graders need to take the baseline test. So that's why that could be running down or not have anything on it. But as Emily gets going here in the spring, she will probably be conducting our baseline test for anybody who hasn't played a fall or winter sport in 9th and 11th grade. As I said, these are your sign-off sheets for your emergency medical history, your extracurricular code of conduct, the OHSAA forms, your concussion waiver, your Lindsay's Law waiver. All of these need to be completed within a week of the season. So as I'm sending this out today, we are pretty much at the end of that first week for everything but tennis. So if you could please go ahead and get those papers filled out. That would be great for us. And if we get to be in the next week and we don't have them done, we will hold students out of practice. So, any questions on that, please, again, don't hesitate to contact us. There is an athletic fee. It's a pay-to-play fee. Our high school is $75 per sport with a $100 individual cap, and it's $250 cap per family. In middle school, it's $40 per sport and $80 individual or family cap. All of those fees will be on your Easy Pay account. Typically, we wait 2 or 3 weeks into the season to add those to the Easy Pay account to make sure that the students are still playing the sport. So be on the lookout for that here in the next couple weeks. Our extracurricular code of conduct, I'd really ask you to take a good look at that. You know, our participation in extracurricular activities is a privilege, and we need to be making sure that we are being responsible on and off the court or the fields or the track. And so we ask that you uphold this code of conduct, which includes, no use of tobacco or alcohol, any illicit drugs, the selling of any illicit drugs, bullying, social media bullying. All of those things are covered in our code of conduct. And I would highly encourage you to go over that with your son or daughter to make sure they know, what's expected of them. I feel like our students here do a really good job of being great representatives of their sport and our community. So I'd like to continue that to happen. With that said, the code of conduct does have consequences. If you fail to meet those code of conduct requirements, your first offense is 25% of your season. Your second offense is 50% of your season. Your third offense is a full calendar year from when the offense took place. And then your fourth offense is the removal of athletics and extracurriculars for your time left here at Tallmadge High School. Hopefully we never get to that point. I have not yet in my 3 years. So if you have any questions on that, again, please feel free to contact us as we work through the code of conduct. Eligibility. Eligibility is based on the previous 9 weeks from when they are playing a sport. Spring sports always have an overlap. So we are currently using the second grading period as eligibility. However, the third grading period ends on March 14th, and that will actually determine your eligibility for playing because most contests can't begin until after that anyway. So once March 14th comes and we get to that following week, we will be going through all of our athletes' grades and checking for eligibility. So they still have a couple weeks here. So if anybody's on the border, tell them to go talk to their teachers, make sure they're talking to the guidance and understanding that that third grading period is going to determine whether they're eligible. They need a 1.25, and they also cannot have 2 Fs or more during that grading period. Absences, we are asking students to be in school. We ask that our athletes be students first. If there's something that comes up that seems to be chronic, we'll reach out to the parents and to the student and kind of assess each situation in an individual basis. But we do ask them to get to school, full days when at all possible. Some miscellaneous information, transportation slip. Obviously there's situations that come up where, an emergency happened and you need to grab your kid and take them from a game or to a game for whatever reason. We do ask that you have that in writing to the coach or myself. We would love for you to fill out the transportation form 24 hours in advance if you know. Obviously, we understand that things do pop up, but if you can get us this transportation slip, and again, this is a link to it, so you'll have it. It's also on our website. A medication form, that's if we're going overnight. I don't believe we have any overnight trips scheduled so far for the spring unless we end up at the state tournament, which we're hoping for. Any cancellation of events, spring is crazy. We get weather, rain, and so we try to stay on top of it throughout the day. We will usually make a decision by 2:30, 3 o'clock, whether we're going to play baseball, softball, and tennis. Sometimes we know earlier. Every now and then, a storm comes through late and we don't know till later. But we would try to stay on that. Your coaches will be the one of your primary contact of who will let you know. We'll put it out there on RX and where we can, but the coaches will be, however they communicate with the parents and players, will be the main contact of understanding where the cancelizations are. Player banners. So each parent organization or sport is responsible for their banners. We're happy to help put them up, but if you can organize that, have your team parent organize that to go to Tallmadge Photography or wherever you feel like you want to get your team photo. We don't really charge in the spring. The only thing we charge for would be our track invitationals, and then we host a league meet. So you'll have a credit card reader. We'll be able to buy tickets online, and there'll be cash at the gate. So in the spring, we don't worry too much about the ticketing. If you have concerns, please, go through the steps. Contact the head coach first. Have your student athlete contact the head coach, talk to them, and if you're not satisfied, please schedule a meeting with them. The only thing I ask is that you wait 24 hours if it's something after a game or a heated situation. Obviously, we're all emotional people, and when we are in that situation, just would ask you to take some time before you contact the head coach, and then we'll set up a meeting. And if you need further attention to the situation, please contact me, and I will help you wherever I can. One last thing I want to ask is just I think we've done a pretty good job here in the fall and the winter, but we're at a critical time of official shortage and kind of just situations that come up through games and how we handle ourselves. And all I ask is that you just try to respect the game. And obviously there's going to be bad calls, and obviously people are going to say stuff, but we got to just understand what our words are and what they mean, and try to do a better job of being understanding and respectful of a person who's out there trying to do their best and do their job. So I'm just asking you that you respect the officials and try to treat each game the right way. The only other thing I want to add is if you go to our website, tallmadgeathletics.org, and you go to the More tab, we added this for the fall and the winter, and I thought it worked out really well. Spring, I hope it works out well. But there's a lot of moving parts with the games, with the weather. But under the More tab, there's a schedules and results page, and you can go down to the spring schedules and results, and that's where you can find each individual team's schedules as well as the results of each game. So our coaches are helping us out with that. We're very appreciative of them, and very appreciative of you and all the support you give to our student athletes and to our athletic department. We're excited for this spring season. Last spring season brought us a state championship, so we are extremely excited to get rolling here. The weather is surprisingly great here for February, and we will see you out on the fields and the track and the courts. As always, go Blue Devils.